Hello, my name is Cassandra Bartolo, and I'm in the Senior High Fellowship. I started coming to the First Baptist Church halfway through my high school life and was able to enjoy 2 good years at this church and at the youth fellowship. My time here as an adolescent has been short compared to others, but it has been great, and I couldn't ask for more. Fellowship has been an ongoing blessing onto my life. It's taught me many things, and it will continue to teach me long after it is over. It's taught me there's always time to change and grow, and that's never too late to do so. Every day is a new day and a new experience, and a new chance to start again. So today I'm going to attempt to teach you some things. Some things I don't really know very well myself. You don't need to be afraid that there's not enough time to be who you wanted to be or to do what you wanted to do. Because even if you make a mistake, life will keep going on. Even if you wait too long, life will change and keep on changing. There's always another chance for you to make things right in your life if you're willing to take it. Because depending on how you look at your life and the situations in your life, life can either go very fast or very slow. Speaking of going slow, we all need time to reflect on our life and to think about where we are now and where we would like to be. This church has given me many opportunities to do that, through doing things I never thought I would do or even wanted to do. Last year was my first year going on the Allagash, a 2-week canoe trip that the Senior Fellowship goes on each year after fellowship is over for the season. It is a time when we all just get to take a break. We are away from technology and our daily responsibilities. And we take on a new responsibility to each other and to our environment. To me, it was a stress off my shoulders. After the initial shock of it all, the first week of the trip was going great. Probably one of the best weeks of my life. But after 7 days of everything going great, things started not to go so great. My bones hurt, and I didn't feel so great anymore. And I really didn't do anything to avoid that or to fix the situation I was in. At the time, I just held on to the pain and I hoped that it would pass. That night in my tent, I couldn't sleep, but I didn't ask for help. There were ways to fix how I was feeling, but I didn't ask. I just hoped it would pass without needing to ask for medicine or to ask anyone for help. I could have easily avoided that situation if I just considered myself and what I needed. For the first 7 days when I paddled, everything was fine. But the pressure and the weight I had to carry increased every day because I did nothing to subtract it from my life. I didn't consider there would end up being a problem, so I ended up pushing myself aside. At first, it was a stress off my shoulders, but stress has a way of building up. And if you don't know how to handle it, it will end up getting worse over time. So I recommend you learn how to handle the stress in your life. The rest of the trip was great. I recommend it to you all. But I still remember that time. What is too long? What does it mean to say I've waited too long? Is there a limit on when you can succeed or when to start? Is there a point when it becomes pointless to try? And you will end up saying to yourself, it doesn't matter anymore. That you won't be able to succeed even if you do decide to try. There's a point of no return. There's a point when it becomes pointless. That it will all just become meaningless to pursue what you wanted to do with your life. Because the merit in it is gone. And that nobody will care about what you have to say or what you think. Because you've waited too long. If you think that way, then stop. I don't need to be afraid that there's not enough time to be who I wanted to be or to do what I wanted to do. Because even if I make a mistake, life will keep going. Even if I wait too long, life will change and keep on changing. There's always a chance for me to make things right if I'm willing to take it. Because depending on how I look at my life and the situations I'm in life, life can either go very fast or very slow. I have no confidence in myself, but I know I will be okay. I don't manage my stress well, but I know it will be okay. Sometimes I fear there's no time left to become the type of person I wanted to be, but I know it will be okay. Because I want to start to practice what I preach. I think it's important to be honest in life and not to ask the impossible from others and not to expect the impossible from yourself. I think it's important to attempt what you teach and to be true to what you say. I'm not perfect in my eyes, and that's okay. I want to improve, but I think it's important to learn to embrace who you are now, because that's what you are in the moment. Everything takes time, and we are often too hard on ourselves. We may say it's natural to be imperfect, and we can't expect perfection when we're talking to someone else and mean what we say, but we are often unwilling to feel the same way about ourselves. So I ask you to think about being kinder to yourself today and to know that there's never a limit on what you can do. Thank you.
Good morning. All right, some of you may not know me. My name is Marley Norton, and I'm a graduating senior at Beverly High School this year. Some of you may know me, however, from what I think is a quite flattering photograph of myself located in this basement, or not this basement, the basement. On a bulletin board decorated circa 2006, I am featured participating in a Sunday school activity exploring archaeology. The photograph is of me wearing my favorite shirt at the time. It was a white button-down sewn into a knit sweater, minus the button-down on the inside. It was just the collar. And my teeth, not yet corrected by braces, have a huge gap in the middle. The caption over the picture reads, "Marley makes an archaeological find." I'm not telling this story so that all of you can relive this embarrassing fashion choice with me, but to point out something that I think is still true. This church has always supported its youth in their learning. Through their fellowship groups, the Allagash and other overnight trips, safe activity spaces during sermon, which my 5-year-old self would argue are sometimes difficult to sit through, and child-friendly involvement, this church has helped me develop an inquisitive mind when it comes to my faith. For example, before my baptism, I had to take classes to prepare myself and make sure it was the right choice for me. At one point, we came down into this chapel, and I was asked to think about what God means to me. In my own mind, God is the community this church creates. God is the shared idea that we all have in common. And most importantly, God is the unifying force for those in need or in celebration and happiness. All right. I credit this church for this conclusion that I've come to. It has always allowed individuals to express their faith in the way they understand it best. However, I'm quite young, and this definition may change throughout my lifetime. As I move on to college and out of this church community, I hope to find the same experiences in other parts of my life. This church has inspired my work coaching the Beverly Youth Cheerleaders, as well as my leadership in Best Buddies, a group that organizes events for intellectually or developmentally disabled individuals. Through fellowship events like speakers representing and educating us on the Muslim community, by buying Christmas presents for children whose families cannot afford them, or baking cookies for police officers and firefighters, among other things, the church has shown me that real action is what makes a difference. While I'm not exactly sure what my college experience will be like at UMass Amherst, I hope to be able to contribute to the community as I have in Beverly and like this church has taught me to do. I hope that everyone in these pews can share a similar experience, even if through a different path to the current faith we all share. The appreciation of this community, which has allowed all of our different paths to intersect. To share a quote from today's scripture, Jeremiah 31:34. No longer shall they teach one another or say to each other, know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least of them to the greatest. Everyone may be in different points of their journey with faith, and that's okay. Growing up in this church, I've learned to be patient with my faith rather than have it forced upon me, and I was able to blossom into it. Through all of it, the concept of God was always with me. To finish up my time with you today, here's a message to all the children in the room. I was quite the troublesome child on Sunday mornings. I hated getting up for church and would complain to my mother. She would only respond by saying, "One day you will thank me." And she was absolutely right. Thank you all for listening. Happy Mother's Day, Amy.
Hi. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Caitlin, and I'm a graduating senior at Essex Tech. About 4 years ago, my best friend at the time invited me to go with him to the last middle school fellowship event of our 8th grade year. I had never been to the First Baptist Church before, so I had no clue what to expect, and I assumed that I wasn't going to know anyone. Much to my surprise, a ton of my friends were there, and the people I didn't know quickly introduced themselves. I remember meeting Julie and immediately feeling like I belonged. After that night, I couldn't wait to be a part of senior high fellowship. FBC fellowship very quickly became my Sunday night life, and I looked forward to going every week. I didn't miss a single event until I was hospitalized in November of 2015 after a serious car accident. While I was at Boston Children's Hospital, my fellow peers and advisors made cards for me, and although I never received them because I got sent to the wrong Caitlin Daly, I appreciated the sentiment. Despite having only been a part of the church for a short time, I was treated as an important part of the community. Knowing that my absence was noticed meant a lot to me, and as soon as I was back home, I was greeted with warm welcomes. Senior high fellowship is where I learned to be who I am today. In middle school, I was an angry person, and I thought the world was out to get me, and nothing I could ever do would be good enough. That pessimistic mentality was poisonous. My friendships were falling apart, my grades were not good enough, and my faith had all but disappeared. Joining the church created a drastic shift in my life and helped me to grow. Even if I had a really terrible week, I know that Sunday night would come soon enough, and I'd be back in the youth lounge having good laughs with great people. To conclude every meeting of senior high fellowship, we do something called Concerns and Celebrations, or CNCs for short. Everyone goes around and shares a concern that they had over the past week. It can be something small or serious. Passing is also an option. Once everyone has had a chance to share, there comes a juxtaposition where we all awkwardly say, "Celebrations!" You may not pass on sharing a celebration because you can always find at least one aspect of your life to be happy about. CNCs is a great way for everyone to be heard and allows each individual to confide in people that are genuinely interested in how they are doing. The fact that celebrations are required has also changed my outlook in situations that I would have previously seen as a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Oftentimes, I find myself doing something during the week and thinking, wow, I can't wait to share this with fellowship on Sunday. The ability to unwind at the end of the week is truly a blessing, and reflecting on my past concerns and celebrations with people I am close to is a tradition I hope to carry with me throughout my life. As I prepare to take the next steps into a post-senior high fellowship world, the experiences and lessons I've gained will stay with me forever. Even though in a few months I'll be over 1,000 miles away, I'll feel at home remembering the time we threw frosting-covered brownies at Joe, pitched tents in the basement, ran around with blindfolds, almost jumped in a wolf trap, got ice cream for breakfast, held cockroaches in our bare hands, went down ledges backwards, went canoeing, and went canoeing. We've done a lot of canoeing. There are far too many action-packed adventures for me to share with you right now, but I think you get the gist. As fun as this journey has been, I've also learned a lot along the way. Stay together, learn the flowers, go light. That is the last stanza of the poem by Gary Snyder that we heard earlier. Those 3 lines are up for interpretation, and the way that I perceived it, the message it sends echoes what I have come to understand through my time with the church. Stay together. Pay attention to the importance of community. We need to work with each other, not against. Even if you have opposing perspectives, even if you come from different cultural backgrounds, it is imperative to find a way to work together in order to stay together. You're only as strong as the weakest link. The slowest runner sets the pace. We are all cogs in a great machine. No matter how you phrase it, the truth is evident. We are stronger together. Learn the flowers. Notice your surroundings and learn about them. To me, learn implies actively studying something, not just learning what it looks like on a superficial level, but actually engaging in an energetic and deliberate effort of study. To truly understand something, you must go beyond the surface. The famous Mahatma Gandhi quote comes to mind. Live as if you were to die tomorrow, learn as if you were to live forever. The capacity to learn is a gift. Use it. Use it to embrace the world we live in, to find compassion, and to engineer success. Go light. Acknowledge your lifestyle. Try to have a light impact on the planet and do your part in this world to reduce your carbon footprint. Leave behind little waste. Waste can be physical, like garbage and harmful emissions, but I also believe that it can be intangible, such as negative comments and toxic relationships. In either sense of the word, try to go light. Do whatever you can to spread love and acceptance everywhere you go. Make the world a better place by being your best self. I would like to thank all the senior high advisors and all of my friends as well for a wonderful 4 years. I hope in this short amount of time I've been able to relay to you the importance of this community we are part of and how it has personally impacted my life. Thank you.